Hello everyone and welcome back to the Peterson Odyssey. I'm Daryl and this is...
I'm Megan.
And as you can see we're, I guess the next step on from the walls that you probably saw from us last week. And now we're going to start to tackle the ceiling.
Yeah, so if you're new to our channel, we are converting a 2021 Volkswagen Crafter into the ideal little camper van for us. And if you are new and you like what we're doing, make sure just to hit that subscribe. So what we're doing at the moment in the van is we are just trying to measure, because we're going to essentially ply this today. It's not the decorative finish, it's the working ceiling that we're building.
And if you're well aware of van conversions, nothing is easy when it comes to measurements.
Nothing's 90 degrees.
Because nothing is square.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get on with measuring.
The plywood walls, as I guess almost seems like worldwide, are 2.4 metres by 1.2, which if I've got it right is 4 foot by 8 foot. Yeah, so we've measured that length from the very beginning of where our ceiling will be, and it's just come to about that line that I've marked right there.
That's 2.4 metres.
That is 2.4 metres.
Okay, we've also measured across the van to get an approximation of where 1.2 hits, so it's here.
I guess our plan is the plywood ceiling is going to start here, going here. We're going to measure out to scribe the curve of the side of the van and cut that piece out, and that will be the ceiling, which we will then screw up into these battens that we have attached into the ceiling metal support.
Actually, in this video I may have just showed us attaching those battens.
Yeah.
So if I haven't shown that, I'll just show you how we did that attaching now.
Well, what we're going to do next is that we're going to cut the battens that will then fit on the support structure for the roof for the van. Oh, and we need to, we're going to be putting the battens on the support strut to use so that we can screw our ceiling up into after we put these on. First of all, excuse all the wires that are all around here. As we know, that it's going to be all part of everything. But what we're on to now is that we're just going to pre-cut these battens a few weeks ago, and to put up onto here. And because we've cut them, we can bend them or flex them to the shape we need.
One down, 7 to go. Alright, after trial and error, we kind of figured this out and we're doing alright. So we've done...
And it has been a lot of trial and error, but I think once we've hit it on the head, it's actually worked pretty alright. Behind you, we've already done five of these in already.
This is the last normal length one. The next one we're going to do, instead of going on this side, so it matches all the other ones, it's going to go on this side. So we're going to do something
because of where the fan is.
And then the one at the front's slightly smaller, and then we're finished. But we're going to show you how we figured it out, probably using a very unconventional building material. Test her out. Daryl's pre-drilled all the holes. And then our unconventional material, I don't know if you can see this. This is a piece of uncooked spaghetti. Yes. Yes, on a very sharp up angle. Right?
And
Just like
after
that.
about that, little bit of play, but yeah, we got it.
So these are on a slight angle, but that's okay, we think, because what we're going to do is we're going to fix our ceiling. Well, I hope that's okay. Compared to, I'm just, because this side doesn't have its own holes, we're just drilling holes so we can put the wood on this side, because the box is taking up the space over here, the box for the Maxi fan. So I'm just drilling holes. And I reckon now that the camera's on, I'm going to break a bit. Nah. I'm just going to
just watch out for
make sure there's no cables.
You got it, cool.
Oh, so easy.
What are you worrying about?
Oh, so easy. Be able to drill, right?
Yeah.
Got something in my eye. It's not metal. Probably wool. I'm covered in wool. Next piece is to put the hey,
raise the roof.
I'm literally raising, not wait the roof, but the ceiling.
Putting up the roof.
Putting up the. Was it next one is to put up the batten?
Yeah.
Okay. And we're back.
So now that we've got that 2.4 meters, we're now going to measure from this mark that we've recorded to the rear of the van, and that will be the last piece just going there, which will then also measure up, do exactly the same thing. As you will have worked out, we then have just a small piece from here to here, which is approximately 250 mil, which is not much at all.
If you're interested in using any of our measurements that we have used in our van, we've got our website, so the link is just here, and there's a link in the description where we keep all of our cut lists just to help anyone else who's building out a crafter. This wouldn't work for a medium wheelbase crafter, it has to be for the long wheelbase, obviously. And we think it's probably from a 2018 crafter onward. But if you're similar to us and just wanting to save some time, similar van to us, not just similar to us, I mean, good on you if you are. If you want to save some time, go and download our cut list. We have everything, including the little notches that we're going to cut out, and you'll be able to pick it up from there. So, last night I primed the 7mm ply sheets. We've got 3 of them primed. We know we're not going to need full 3. We're going to need the length of 2, but we're probably going to use 1 that we cut in half for the small side piece. This is just primed rather than painted because we're not 100% sure what our paint finish is going to be. It's one of my hairs. It's alright, it's just in there. So we know inside our cabinetry that we're going to have the high gloss or semi-gloss white on the ceiling, and in the main part and above our bed, we're not sure if the base is going to be white or black. So, because on top of this we're having some decorative slats, so it's how much we want to see the space between the slats and what colour we want the space between the slats to be, and what colour the slats are going to be is all to be determined. So we thought we'd just start with a primer. This may be a stupid decision in time because we might be painting the ceiling of the van in the van. We will be painting the ceiling of the van in the van, but oh well. We seem to have the world's bendiest ply. We've turned it upside down so that when we transfer the markings, then we flip it back over, they're in the right place. 100.
5.
Okay. Take 2. Oh, it's this thing. Maybe that's the problem. The light's cord. caught here. And there's something catching under there.
Okay, how's that on that line there, babe?
Way further forward.
What, that way?
No, it needs to come back that way, which means it's catching here. So we had a realisation, which was we're doing all this notching out, and because we're planning on putting a board that covers up these things, we didn't actually need to bother. So we've just cut those notches short. We've taken 20 mil off, and now Daryl's just rerun some wires to make sure they're not in our way. Yeah, and then we're going to put it up and check. Okay, so you've seen us level and cut and check and cut 15 times. Where we're at the moment, just to get this just right, we're going back to our template that we've used to make the walls of the van. If you haven't seen that video, I'll just link it up on the screen, and it's also been in the description. And then Daryl's just, I'm going to come around this side. Daryl's just going to etch out this little bulbous piece in the back of the van using that same template. So you marked where it goes. Kind of where two bits of metal join, right?
No, just one bulb's out.
One bulb's out. So when we're putting this up in the van, it's getting stuck.
Because nothing's square.
It's nothing square.
But you all know that.
If not, you've heard us talk about it enough. Cool. So we think that should notch it out.
Okay.
Alright, and again. Oh no, there we go.
Okay, you good there?
Yep.
You happy with that?
Yep.
So this wall's
Yes, it's done! Done!
This is a 3-person job, so we've enlisted the help of our son Caleb.
With all that preparation, we're ready to now install the first ceiling panel, so wish us luck.
Don't want to bog up anything.
Yeah, exactly.
my finger.
Bog up a finger.
So your first reactions.
First reactions, Daryl.
Hey, it's up. Really, the real work was Caleb and Megan holding the board up because, I don't really think well, even though my arms are sore.
My arms aren't sore, my back's sore.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's gonna look good. Hello, internet. Meet Caleb.
Hi.
What do you think?
Yeah, looks like a pretty big job.
So we've got one piece of board up, which is really cool. We are just measuring up our second big board, so we've cut it down to 1180, so it's consistent with the other one, so it's slightly smaller than a standard piece of ply. And now we've got it flipped upside down. So here's Daryl, just measuring out where everything goes. So I think at the moment you're measuring
472, is it?
472. That's where the lights go. We've got little notches measured out, but somewhere down here, which we don't know yet where, we have to figure out where the shower extractor fan and light are going to go. So that's tomorrow morning's job, is to get up on the roof, not me, Daryl, to get up on the roof and drill that hole so we can then figure this one out. So we're not actually going to get this piece up tonight, we're just getting ready for it. Part of getting the ceiling up is figuring out exactly where the shower goes, the shower light. So we know that the shower goes here, we've got an extractor fan and a light going in, so we've got to drill all the way up. So so we have one piece, two pieces, but saggy at the back, so we've got to support that still. And then tomorrow or next weekend we'll do this piece and this piece, then the ceiling will be done. So I'll see you in a week, in 3 seconds for you.
Yay! Yeah, I don't know if this here was so much easier than the previous one. Maybe multiple factors. You know, the biggest one maybe just because it's smaller than the other could have been so. But we also, I guess, learnt lessons, especially with the template to know where to put the holes. That made things easier. And we did better notches. We didn't show you the notches, but we did better ones. Yes, and again, just learning from our past mistakes as well. So you're just trying to get these things in was at a time fast. Quite. We really made not a hash, but it wasn't the prettiest thing that we've done there. We made a hash. Yeah. You might be looking at this thinking, wow, that's what they're doing with their ceiling? I don't think we've told you this, but this is just the base layer. So what you're looking at here is just simply primed. You would have seen me doing the primer at the beginning of the video. And why we haven't painted it with that white semi-gloss paint is we don't know if we want it to be white. We want the insides of the cabinets to be white. And then we think we might want the ceiling to be black. And before you go, oh my god, that's going to be horrific, we are then planning on putting battens, really, really thin ones, down the exposed parts of the ceiling. So not inside the cupboards, not inside the shower. And because we haven't decided what we're doing, we didn't want to paint it white and then come in and be like, oh, we've got to paint it black. So I'm not sure if that actually is the best decision. I have a horrible feeling we've made a terrible rod for our backs, because at some point we're going to be painting the ceiling in the van, and it's so much easier to do it while it's lying flat. Yeah. So when we were putting up these last pieces, I was like, I'm not sure about black, maybe we should do white. But either way, we've done this. Yeah. And so there's also like little, I guess more important, mostly where the joins of the ply are all together. So they're ugly. Yeah, there are bits where it protrudes by a few mil. Yeah. So not a big amount, but over the whole course of it, yeah, you can see it. Yeah. So in the inside of our van, hang on, I'll just show you. You'll see we've still got our, obviously we just screwed this up, but we've got a crack up here that would need to fill, as well as all the screw holes, and we've got to do the same on the walls. So over here, we haven't filled these yet. That's a future Daryl and Megan problem. Yes. And speaking of future problems, should we show them what we're going to do next week? Yes. All right, yeah. Come. This is one that's kind of wrecking the old head, but I think we've got a solution. So where the back of the bed is, so this is the back of the van, obviously there are the doors.
what we've got is we didn't put a support piece because we couldn't on the ceiling, on the roof of the van like we did with all those other battens. So our ceiling boards are kind of hanging down. And we also are going to try and figure out how to cover this because it's ugly. So next week's video?
That will be next week's video, and you'll see how we tackle that.
Yeah. So if you've enjoyed this week's video and the videos that we're making, it would be awesome if you can just tune in again next week.
Give us a couple of comments as well.
Yeah.
To see, yeah.
What you would have done if you were us.
Yeah.
Or anything that you've done differently in your van, or what you think about our idea of kind of laying the base layer or anything like that. We're just keen to have people tell us what we think. We do respond to all comments as well, so yeah, it'll be cool to chat. We are pretty tired. It's freezing cold. I'm not gonna lie. It's so much warmer in the van than it is outside, but it's still cold.
It's because there's no wind.
Because there's no wind. It's quite cool, and there's insulation in here, which is nice. So we will see you next Sunday with that.
Right. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Of course, like and subscribe, and we'll see you then.
See ya.